Students, good evening. Students who are in the online, am I audible? Okay. So now let's start the discussion. I hope in the previous class. So we have already completed the keywords for handling the exceptions. Keywords for handling exceptions we have completed. So I hope exceptions as a part of that. Keywords for handling the exceptions. This is a syntax and you already well aware of it. At the same time, explanation for the keywords also discussed. What about try block? What try can do? What except can do? What else can do? What finally can do? These many things we already completed. Okay. So now it's a time to see, to move to the further. So Anjali, raise keyword not completed. So I will not complete raise keyword. I will leave it to the student. So because they will not attend the class and they will have this type of doubts. When I said I will explain raise keyword, so I already have, and only saying that thing, I'll get irritation first. So this I said raise keyword in the last class only I said when I will complete. And whatever they feel, they will type it in the chat box without remembering previous class. That's what I feel some irritation. So raise keyword is going to be discussing as a part of what? This kind of concept. So need to remember what the faculty is explaining. Next, I'm going to introduce the examples we did. And next, I want to go for, okay, no problem. Because when you said, I also need to give the answer for it. When you say raise keyword not complete, if I don't reply, you are under the impression that not completed. I have to give my explanation compulsory so that you will remember it. Now I need to go for the other part today. Various parts of what? Except blocks. This part I need to discuss various forms of except blocks. Then I'll go for further things. Now, let me go to various forms of except block. Various forms of except blocks I'm going to discuss. Simple. So here, except blocks can be used in the following ways. The except block can be used in the following formats. Come in the following formats. I said come in. So here, format number one, I'm going to talk. Format number one, I'm going to talk. So in the format number one, what exactly that we already discussed it. That is the first format, whatever the explanation I gave in the last Saturday class. This is a description I gave. This is a syntax I said, and this is an explanation I gave. And those who are absent already in the Saturday, they can almost forget about exception handling. I think some of them are absent. I already seen. They can't understand. If they come to classes like every 2 days once, 3 days once like that, they won't follow. Just their time waste. So here, this is the one first block I am writing. Single except block can handle one exception at a time. One exception at a time. Single except block can handle one exception at a time. This I will take it. So there I will write it. There I am writing try. I am writing. There I am writing some block of statements. Generating exceptions. Generates exception. So there I am writing under that. Here I am writing except exception class name 1. There I will write it. Block of statements generates user-friendly error message. Block of statements generates which message? User-friendly error message. User-friendly error message. Last class, you have already seen a big description. Error-friendly error message. Error message. And this part already done. Similarly, this is called one except block. Handling one exception at a time. One specific exception at a time. Specific exception at a time. I will write one more type of exception, student. I'll write one more type of exception. Here I am writing one more type of exception, class name N. Exception class name 2. Like that, I am writing exception class name N. There's also like exception class name N. N number of exceptions. N number of user-friendly error message. This is the one. Last Saturday class already explained how they are going to execute and their importance also I mentioned it. Last class I said 17 points I said. If anybody was missing, they are all almost out of order. I am saying that. So this is the one. Handling how many exceptions at a time? One exception at a time. Last class I said the program also for that. div2.py. It was a very strong program because I am handling exception. While true, try, zero division error, one exception, one message at a time, another exception, another message at a time. Like that. Two exceptions are there. Two except blocks I wrote it. Clear. One exception at a time. That means if we do any sort of message, any sort of run this code. Here I am going to take up E colon, go to that KVR, Python 6 p.m. say exception handling here. There you try to run it, PIV, div2.py. Program execution started 10 and 2, valid output will be coming, stopping the execution. If I say 10, if I say 0, already you know, exception is occurring. Come out of the try block and execute line number 12. The exception which is occurring, last class we indicated zero division error, matching here, this message is coming. After that, since I wrote this entire thing under where? While loop, this will go to finally block. From finally block, it is coming to while loop, again asking, see the message. Don't enter 0 for denominator. I am from finally block. Program execution started back because I was used what? While loop. I will enter the value called 100 and I will enter a 2x. 2x means it is an alphanumeric, unable to convert. Come out of that, looking for first except block, not matching. Looking for second except block, matching. Execute this now. And then next is what? Printing this. Now here, done. Now don't enter alphanumerics and this thing. Anything you enter wrong, it will be immediately stopping. I'll say KVR and I'll say Python. Immediately message is coming. You enter anything wrong, 10, and you say $, immediately stops. Are you able to follow? You don't enter anything, immediately stops. No symbols. Understand? If I say 100 and 20, you are getting the answer called like this. Are you getting this answer? This is called example. This is called first part of it. What is this program now? div2.py. In last class only I said. Second one I am going to discuss. Second format I am going to discuss. What is the second format? By seeing this explanation, what did you understand? I am doing one mistake at a time, correct? Whenever you do something like what? Not entering anything, you are giving one message at a time. Whenever I enter something like a 0 as a denominator, that message only you are telling. You are not telling about what? Other mistakes which are present in the same program. Generally, ATM application, you take it. What are the common mistakes the end user will do generally? First mistake, the common user may keep the card in reverse order. Number 2, invalid pin. Number 2. Number 3, wrong amount withdrawals. wrong amount withdrawals. Next what? Insufficient fund withdrawals. Next is called what? Limit exceeds. Limit exceeds. These are the common mistakes you will do, correct or not? These mistakes, if you want, whenever that person is doing first mistake, you will tell to the first mistake. Second mistake, again telling to second mistake. Like that, mistake by mistake you are showing whenever that person is doing. That is one aspect. One more aspect some people will expect what? When you do one mistake on ATM, you are telling that mistake. Along that mistakes, you are telling about the other mistakes which are possible to commit. Are you following? You are committing that mistake. Okay, you are telling. Plus, you are telling about other mistakes. There is a possibility to commit. If you tell in advance, he will read that and he will not commit that mistake. So, what is going to be? The committing mistakes rate is reducing. Yes or no? If you don't give that advanced mistakes to the end user, he may commit that mistake. Are you following me? Suppose you are going to your native place in a car. There is 500 meters away. There is a deep curve is there. There is a deep curve is there. Deep curve is there. For example, now 500 meters before only they will keep one label. Ahead there is a deep curve. So what you will have? What you will do? You will take care. You will take care. That is called which type of deep? Is it deep curve is coming immediately saying or in advance they are saying? That is called what? Careful. The driver will become so careful. Slowly they will go and they will take that. Is it good or not? That is called another format is called second format. I am going to tell you. What is the second format? See student, single except block can handle multiple specific exceptions at a time. This type of facility is called this type of facility is called this type of facility is called what do you know? Multi exception handling block we can call. Spell out multi exception handling block. Multi exception handling block we can call. Multi exception handling block we can call. Sir, how to deal with that? Very, very simple. Same thing you try to carry. Same thing you try to carry. Now I'm going to carry the same thing. Here I'm going to write what now? Here I'm writing exception class name 1, exception class name 2, comma, you are writing exception class name 2. You are writing in the form of a tuple, comma, exception class name n, exception class name n, exception class name n. And we don't write this entire block of statements here. With one single except block, we can write all of them here. Block of statements generates user-friendly error message, which corresponds to the type of exception, type of exception. Are you able to understand? So, suppose here I am having 4 exceptions are there. What we do? Sagar Srivastava. My dear student, you hold on. I will explain to you. Let me complete my flow. Block of statement generates what? Exception. If there are 4 exceptions are there, what I will do? All 4 exceptions I will write it. All 4 I will write it. All 4 related messages also I will write it. Understand? If they commit one mistake, along with that mistake, I will show other mistakes also. Are you following me? So, coming to the point of it, I'll show the example for it. Go to the same place, copy this now. Going to show. Here I'm writing, very, very important. Here I'm writing, look at 2.3.py. There I'm writing this while loop and all, you remove it. This you remove it. Now I'm writing except. What I'm going to say, 2 except blocks are there. 2 except blocks are there. Now you are writing zero division error, comma what? Value error. Value error, zero division error. Now you are writing done. Don't write this now. Else block you are writing something like this. No need to write this. Now finally block. All of them are written or not? So try to run this. What is happening now? Suppose if line number 10 is occurring, where it is coming? Coming out of the try block, looking for this first one, matching. It will print this messages. Suppose if this is occurring anything, it is matching here value error, also printing the same message. This is known as which kind of exception block? Multi-handling exception block. So people will ask a question, can I handle multiple exceptions at a time? Can I handle multiple exceptions at a time? By using except block. And the last time somebody might be asked this question, I did not remember the name. My dear student, those who asked that question, might be this is an answer today. Okay, student, I did not remember who is that name. So Lohit, you only asked. So I hope that you only asked, I think so. So I hope this is your answer. Try to run this. Try to run this and see here. Save this now. div3.py. Come out of that. See students. Run this now. Py. div3.py. div3.py. So you'll get program execution started 30 and 2. So you are getting the answer code what? 15.0 successful input. Now you are entering 10 and you are entering something like W34. What will happen? Which error? Value error. Value error. Along with the value error, both the messages are coming. Along with that, that message is also visible, plus extra message also will be visible. So because of one-time mistake, other mistake showing, with one mistake committing, other mistakes also you come to know, he is minimizing his committing mistakes. This is the advantage of this multi-exception handling block. Understand? Well, students in the online, might be you understood this, and it reduces some code also. Suppose if you don't like this facility, go for this facility. Go for this facility. Any one of the facilities there, you can use it. Able to follow? Let's go to the further. Now I'm going to say, students, other kind of concept I'm going to introduce. Another format. The format is something like this. Here I'm going to take up like this. Students, I'm going to say format number 3. What is this now? Handling the exception, single exception handling block, single exceptor can handle exception, can handle the exception with alias name, with what? Alias name. With alias name. For what purpose this alias name can do? Here, the alias name can capture. Alias name can capture. I'll show the example also, students. Alias name can capture type of what? Type of error message. Type of error message occurred due to the exception. Due to the type of exception, that is useful to get the exception messages from some third-party vendors. I will use this syntax in database communication. Database communication, we can use it. When you are using AWS DevOps, you will use with AWS, you will use Google GCP, Google Cloud Platform. When you are going to communicate with that, some exception will be occurring in the remote. That exceptions I want to capture in my Python program. Some exception occurring in where? Oracle. That exception I want to handle it in where? Python. Example, I am writing, which I am explaining in the next concept. I am going to starting that. Python program is communicating with the Oracle database. Oracle is some third party product, correct? By using Python, I am going to communicate with Oracle students. In Oracle, some exception will occur, in which case I am not entering proper username. I am not entering proper password to connect to the Oracle. What exception is occurring in Oracle? I want to capture it into which program? Python program. That is really great concept. That can be done with what concept? Alias name. So since I'm teaching all this kind of high-end things, a very dominative programming, that's why I want to tell you this. So how can I handle that type of exception? So online students, is my voice is breaking in the middle of it anytime? Is my voice is breaking in the middle of it? Yeah, that's what I'm getting some small points. So here in middle, some breaking is coming, I think so. Is it now? Is it now? Is okay? Is it okay now? So let us move to the further. Now it's okay. Now let us come into the students. How this can be done? See students, here I'm going to write, try, see students. Here I'm writing under this saying, try as alias name, alias name, alias name, alias name. Again, I will write as alias name. Here also I will write as alias name. Here also I will write as alias name. I will just print what? Print of what? Alias name I will write it. Alias name I wrote it. Here also I am writing what, some alias name. That alias name capture what? Type of technical error message. I will show you the example. Don't worry about it. Here I am writing. Let us start understanding about this exception. Go to the place. Here I am going to write it. Same thing. Before going to that, let me go to the small version of the program I want to show. See students, I already shown you. Again, I am showing 10 by 0. What is the 10 by 0? 0 division error is the exception name. Due to this exception, this is the technical error message I got it. This is what I said. What is my description? See, single except block can handle exception with alias name. Here alias name can capture type of error message. Type of error message occurred due to type of exception. Especially I will use it in database communication. That is a high end. For telling that type of things, I am telling now only that scenarios. 0 division error is a type of exception. Due to that one message is coming. That message I want to see in my Python code. You try to run div1 program, which is in the last class, last Saturday class. Here you see no more exception, correct? I did not write any try except blocks. You try to run it once, div1.py, 10 and 0, you write it. What is this now? Name of the exception, this is a message. This message will be captured. This message will be captured. That is the meaning what I want to tell you. Go to the place. Here I am going to write it. See that? I am writing the program now. Here I am saying, careful, div, what is that? 4.py. Today I am writing division by division 0 division error as Z. Value error as what? V. You take any name, alias names, any name you can take. Can I take here also Z? Can I take here also Z? Yes or no? No. You go to home now. Because it will execute either 12 or it will execute 14. Both of them will not execute at a time. Will both of them execute at a time? Huh? Come on. No. So you are staying in one house. Your name is called Nani. One more person is staying in adjacent home. Their name is also Nani. Both Nanis are staying in same house. Huh? When both Nanis are staying in same house, they won't keep alias name Nani. Right or not? still different place. That is a unique name in that. That is a unique name in that. Similarly, either 12th line will execute or 14th line will execute. Both the lines will not execute at a time. Are you able to follow? So let us print this as what you know, Z. Print Z here. Print Z. Here also you write what? Print Z here also. Print Z here also. Come on. Because of this, you see, this is the one I am getting. Because of this 10x, you are going to get what? This message is coming. Because of which error? Value error. See, students, now I'm going to run. What is this now? Z is called alias name. So try to run this. Very important. So here I'm writing 4.py. I'll go to this place. Okay. In this place, you come py. Here I'm going to write it. In this place, program execution started 10 and next is called 2x. What will happen? Or 0 you enter first. What will happen? Chudandi, division by 0. Division by 0. What is this message? It is the type of error message occurred due to type of exception. What is the type of exception? 0 division error. Due to that, this exception is occurred. Are you following? So, if you follow me, \t dot format of what is this now? Z dot what? Upper of. Z dot upper of. So I'll say here, run this colon once again. What happens? One more bracket down. So try to run 100 and 0. What is happening? 0 division error. Okay. 0 division error doesn't have what? What is the type of Z you try to find out? 1 minute you try to find out. Type of what? Z. Correct. Type of Z is called what? Again. What is the type of Z? Say this. What is the type of Z? It is a 0 division error. It is a 0 division error. It is the name of the class. Alias name is nothing but alternative name now. So by mistake, I was written that. Just to print what, you know, students, just to close it. Type only what? Come on, what you will print? Z you write it. Z only you try to write it. Now, here also you wrote Z also. \t. Dot format of what? Z. Now see this now. Z. Execute py. So done. So say here 0. What is the message? Division by 0. Now say 2x. 2x. You are getting invalid literal int of with base 2x. Are you getting? These are called exception generated messages 30 and you are getting the output something like this. Execution completed and it is breaking also. Did you understand this concept? What is the third one? Handling exception with alias name, handling multiple exceptions at a time, handle a single exception at a time. This is called a third format. And fourth format, I'm going to say. Fourth format, what people are saying, I'm going to say, see what people are saying, fourth format. This is called a single except block can handle all types of exceptions. All types of exceptions. All types of exceptions. This part you see, this is generally most of the trainers are trying to tell in their classes by wrong guiding the students. What they say, you know, they will tell or they will say, in my program, there are 30 exceptions are there. 30 exceptions are there. How you need to write it? Exception, class name, exception, class name. How many except blocks I need to write? Compulsory 30. Why? 30 user-friendly error messages I have to write. That faculty will tell 30 writing except block, easy or difficult, they will ask. Easy or difficult? Difficult. Who will say difficult? The person who don't know any real-time developments. They will say it is a very difficult. It is a complex. We don't write these many We will write only one except block they will write. And the student also will say, my sir is teaching very good. Only one except block they will write it. How? See how they are misguiding. This is misguiding completely. But why it is designed, I will tell you. Let me go for that. This is called what, one program I am writing here, others.py. What is this program called? div5.py. div5.py, not recommended program. It is not a recommended program. It is not a recommended program I am writing. It is not a recommended program I am writing. What is this now? True written. This is zero division error. And after that, they won't write this entire thing. They will say what? Don't write any except blocks. They will say write a single except block. Even most of the small websites also they will write. And what they will write, what they will write, they will say \t. They will say \t like this. And of course, I am writing like that. Dot format of, they will write something like oops, something went wrong. Oops, something went wrong. Something went wrong. Something went wrong. Something went wrong. Try again. Try again. Try again. They will write like this. Oops, something went wrong. Try again. Okay. Let us run this. div5.py. So 5.py. Come out of that. Run this now. 5.py. Say 100 and a 0. What is happening? I did not write anything. Actually, syntax is what? Except exception name you have write. But I did not write anything here. What happens because of that? All sorts of exceptions are occurring. It will go to this place only because I did not write anything. Are you following? So this is known as what? Any except block without exception class name. It is known as what? Default except block we can call. Spell out. Default except block, which can handle all types of exceptions. Every type of exception caught by whom? Default except block. Like case label 1, case label 2, case label n. Case underscore we wrote it. What is that case underscore is called? Default case block. So any case labels not matching, PVM goes to where? Default case block. There I will write what? Your selection of operation is wrong. Try again, I will say. Like that, people are trying to write, oops, something went wrong. You run this now. You already entered. What is happening? Oops, something went wrong. Next, 20, some 2x. Oops, something went wrong. Now interview will ask you, what oops, something went wrong? Tell me what went wrong. You are saying, oops, something went wrong. Oops, something went wrong. What oops, something? Interviewer also says, oops, what went wrong, you will say. What you will say? You have to say, oops, something went wrong. Finally, you will oops you. This is called all cock and bullocks. Actually, it is designed for what I will tell you. Actually, people are telling like this. This is what people are totally misguiding. This is what is the botheration. Why it is designed actually? What they are saying, you see. If a student don't know, they will believe or not. And you will not get a doubt. You will not go and ask, sir, oops, something went wrong. What went wrong? Sir will say, oops, something went wrong. These are all called not correct. This is correct. You have to tell pin is wrong. Your pin is invalid. Try again. You are entering more amount. You are entering more amount than your existing balance. Insufficient funds. Try again. You kept your card wrong. Try again. You put a card and you did not enter the time within stipulated time. Transaction limit time is there. Within the time, if you don't enter, you will get what? Timeout. Your transaction timeout. That also you can give. That also. These are all called what? Specific timings. Your browser is not able to fetch your data from the server. It is giving connection timeout. Are you getting or not? Like that. Like that. So for everything, So say something like KVR here, Java here, oops, something went wrong. 24 mistakes you do, something went wrong only. So what went wrong you need to tell. So that is what Mayank. That's what I'm saying. Then how will user find his mistake? That is my point. That's why this is not a recommended thing. This is not a recommended thing. So I'm entering Mayank. Mayank, I am entering but BHATT. Mayank also getting oops, something went wrong. So this is not recommended. That's why I thought it is not a recommended program. Don't learn such type of things. Sir, why it came? Now I am telling it. Now I am telling the perfect program for you. Shall I? Yes. Now I'm going to tell you the how to use this concept. Mayank. So, Seema, now try to understand. Carefully, I'm entering 6.py. 6.py. This part you don't worry. 2 only I will carry. 2 second program only I will carry. Yes, ma Kavita. So I hope it is now clear. Now I am going to enter into the 6.py. 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 Program execution started. Zero division error. Now, this is a program. Yesterday, I gave a simple explanations, little explanation. In 26th Feb 2024, KVR programmer defined this program and handles, and I'm writing here, handles all types of exceptions, all types of specific exceptions occurs in this program, correct or not? What are the exceptions occurring in this program? 2 exceptions will occur. One is what? There is a chance of entering denominator is a 0. 0 division error I cut. Handled it. Correct or not? There is a chance of entering alphanumerical values. I handled value error also. So with my forecasting knowledge, with my long view of my coding, I handled all the exceptions. Are you getting? I handled all the exceptions. Now, this is my 2024 26th February situation. Who knows? After 5 years, Mayank is called what? Mayank is a new programmer, is a fresher programmer. He is incidentally got this program for maintenance activity under, he want to add some extra code for this. Mayank is a new programmer after 5 years. He is adding new code as a part of maintenance activity. So what is going to be happening there? Maintenance activity, he is adding some new code. Due to that new code, there is a possibility of what? An exception may occur. Correct or not? An exception may occur. That exception may not be knowing to Mayank. And that type of exception may not be knowing to Mayank. He's a new programmer. Why he don't know? Because he's a new programmer. A newly MBBS completed student, all of a sudden big problem is coming. He may not be knowing it. Correct or not? If he becomes slowly experienced, he will also handle everything. So the policy in the industry is, may not be knowing to Mayank. Then how to handle that exception? Then how to handle that future exceptions on 26th, 26th February 2024 by KVR. How to handle that future exceptions on 26th February by 2024 by KVR. Did you understand? To handle unknown future exceptions which are going to happen by new programmer, today only I want to handle it. It is not for the end user to say, it is to tell to Mayank that something went wrong. There, after writing all my exceptions, I am writing what? For the sake of the new programmer to tell him something went wrong, I will tell. I will write except. I don't write any except name, I don't write. Why I don't write except name? Because I don't know, na? After 5 years, which exception I come, which statements Mayank will add to my statements, I don't know. But one thing I know, any exception occurring in my Python program, that exception, I can handle it by writing which exception block? Default except block. Here I will write it. I will write it. I am writing, Mayank, something went wrong. Something went wrong. Something went wrong. I will write something went wrong. So please check your code. Please check your code. Check your code. Please check your code. I wrote today, but now you run it. You just run it. How I wrote my things. First order you see, order of writing except block. First which order? Specific except block. Last what I wrote it? Default except block. Are you following me? So see, I will run my code 6.py. Run this code. You see, try to run this code. While loop is true. I'm saying Control C also. Control C also I'm saying. Which program it is? 5 or 6? So you enter something 120. So done. You try to run students. Py div6.py. div6.py. I say 100 and 0. No problem. No problem. I say 202x. No problem. At present, it is handling everything. In future, what code Mayank will add? You cannot see this message. In 2024, 26th February, you cannot see this message. Mayank, something went wrong. I cannot tell. I cannot. Now, after 5 years, Mayank is adding. Mayank is adding. What? S is equal to what? Python is adding and is saying printing of what? S of 10 you wrote it. S of 10 you wrote it. This is the code added by whom? Code added by whom? Come on. Code added by whom? Mayank. Mayank is added. So is a code added by him. Actually, you don't know exception. Which exception? Index error. If Mayank knows, definitely will go. If SAR might be taught, zero division error, KVR circuit. Value error, I KVR circuit. Now, Mayank is getting which error? He will write what? Index error he will write. And he will keep this as it is because Mayank also knows in future, after Mayank is doing, after 3 years, some more person is working on the same code for handling that exception. This is constantly supposed to write at the end of specific exceptions. Are you able to get it? Did you understand the style of writing? Why default except block is coming? Now see, this is an exception is occurring. What is the exception? Index error. Coming here, not matching. Coming here, not matching. Coming here now. Is it matching or not? Matching. Immediately run this now. Try to run this now. Try to say 120. Coming out of that, run this code. Say 10 or 2. I entered correctly. Mayank entered like that. And immediately what is coming? Mayank, something went wrong. Please check your code. Now Mayank got it out. What went wrong? You will go there. You will see, yes, in my code something went wrong. You will paste this, copy the code and you will put it into Google. What went wrong with this code? You will get what? Index error. Immediately, okay. Sir has written already value error, value error. I also will write what? Come on. Index error. Index error. Now, I will remove. What is that? Please check your index. Check your index. Assume that the index value entered by whom? End user, for example. Index value entered by whom? End user. End user. See? And he will also write. He will also write what? He will carry my style. Mayank is working after 5 years. After Mayank 5 years, somebody else also will work. Somebody else also will work. Shiv Prasad will work after 5 years. That time what will happen? Except he will also write. Except he will write like this. Now I will write what here? For that, oops, something went wrong. They will write. Something went wrong. Something went wrong. Something went wrong is not to the end user. It is a programmer purpose. People will write. Even in some small website, oops, the site is under construction, they will say. Did you understand that? This is a message for whom? Programmer, not for end user. This is a style of writing the exceptions. Did you understand this? So, what is the style of writing exception now you see? Now I will say 110. Now you see 130. Now what is happening there? So, completely. So, here, what is happening? That is saved it, but it is not terminating student. 205 is going to be same thing is going to come. Here I need to write break actually. Break actually because I was not saved now. That's why this is coming. Here also I need to say something. So here I will do what? Break I will do. Here also I will do break. First of all, writing while loop all the times not necessary. First of all, okay, let it be now. I will close my window. I'll start my window once again. I'll start my window once again. So go to this place. Here I'm going to write it. Run as an administrator. Here I'm going to say E colon. Go to this place. Python here. 6 p.m. Python here. And next is called what you know, students? Come on. Exception. Now try to say. If you want, you can keep while loop. Otherwise, simply forget about that. So simply forget about that. Remove and remove. Remove. If you want while loop, you take it. Otherwise, not necessary. You try to run this div6.py. See, py, div6.py. See this indentation, line number 5. Still line number 5. Okay. So except blocks, you take care. Okay. Run this break. Where is that? 28th line. 28th line not necessary. Without loops, we cannot use what? Break. 120. Please check your index. This is because of which index? Because of which one? Suppose you use 2. You use 2. You will get the value called what? T. T. Happily result will come. See, 120. And T also came and getting the result. Able to get it? This is the one you need to take care about it. Understand, students? Fine, students. Let us move to the further. In this case, we got it. Suppose, students, is it understandable, ma? What is this concept? Single except block can handle all types of exception. This except block is called, this except block is called, which except block? Default except block. Default except block. Default except block. And it must be written. It must be always written. It must be always written. Always written at last. At Lost. Otherwise, if you write wherever you like it, otherwise we get what? Syntax error. Syntax error is not an exception. Syntax error is not an exception because those errors caught by whom? Caught. Caught means what? Past tense of catch. Catched, like that you learned in your childhood days. Catched by whom? Compiler. Compiler. This you must notice it. They'll ask you a question. See, value error, index error. Some people will say anything ends with error, it is called exception classes, they will say. But syntax error is not a runtime error. Indentation error is not a runtime error. It is a syntax related errors. Be careful, student. These two are called syntax related errors. Please take care. Now I will go for it. See that. Go to this, my dear students. Try to write this except block. Try to write this except block immediately here. Where I am writing? Before all the specific exceptions I am writing. This will give you what? Syntax error. See, mom. Run this now. Got it. Read out. What is that? Must be lost. But I wrote where here? First I wrote it. Shall I write it? No, I should not. I should write in where? Last. I hope you are getting it. So this is known as which block, ma? Default except block. Default except block advantage I said to handle future exceptions by the current programmer, not to tell one except block handling everything. That's why it is an advantage. As a doctor, one doctor cannot handle all the devices. Will it? If anybody handle everything, he is whoops. He is whoops only. So, correct. He is whoops only. So nobody will do that. Specialization is required. That's why special except blocks are required. And this default except block I wrote in the last. Did you understand the importance? Well, these are the forms of each blocks, except blocks. I just want to write it. One small thing here. I will write a syntax here. Now, the syntax, I will immediately says that, not recommended, I would like to say. I would like to say not recommended. I'll write that message. So the message itself you understood. And oops, something went wrong. This message I'm specially telling something went wrong. Even in Django level also, you have to handle all sorts of exceptions. Django you write with what exceptions? Form level errors if any end user commits. If I'm entering username, password in browser, what are you getting? Immediately form is sending back and saying in red colors what? Wrong password, try again, I am saying or not. How to give that? That you have to take care. It is a easy technique is there. How I said in my Python level, while true, until you enter a correct, I am showing the same thing again and again or not. Like that, there is some technique is there in Django level. Try to learn all those things. Oops, something went wrong. Oops, something went wrong. So, something went wrong. Okay, students, this is a message. This syntax is not recommended. Only like this. Here I will write only like this. Only below syntax. Only below syntax. Not recommended. Not recommended. So be careful. Now, final syntax of exception I am writing. Can I write the final syntax of exception handling? Now, can you tell me the final syntax of exception handling? Final syntax for handling the exceptions. Come on, ma. Final syntax of handling exceptions, tell me. I will take as usual. Either you go for first one, no problem. What is this now? I am writing here, happy. And the last one, what I am writing? Default except block I am writing. This part you write it. At last only you must write it. At last only you must write it. Especially I am writing at what? Last. Okay, na? or otherwise, if you are interested, you can write this also. This also I'm more happy. I will say here, I'm saying here, or I am writing, or I am writing, there I am saying, try I am writing, try I am writing, here also I am saying, default except block. What is this now? All handles, handle what? All sorts of exceptions. Here I wrote it, default except block, handling multiple exceptions. Got it. Default except block. Oops, something went wrong. Either this way, separate exceptions, last except block. And one more thing is what? Write all of them specific message. At the end, you write it. This is the complete syntax of handling the exceptions. I hope students, might be you understand what are the various forms of except blocks. Online students. Now here, various forms of except block for everything. One separate example I said. Got it, students? Online students, please respond it. Is it clear for everything? Now I will move to the further. Today, I want to enter into most important point. Now I'll go to various forms of which block? Except block. Various forms of except block. I just want to say. So various forms of except blocks you understood. Now I am going to enter into the biggest discussion, still problem solving. So many examples I'll tell you. So with this concept, we understand except block somebody ask. I will explain the except block importance and immediately I will enter what? Various forms of except blocks also I can explain. What is the use of except block? 4 points I will tell. I can use except block in 4 ways. Handling single exception, handling multiple specific exception, handling exception name with alias name, handling exceptions with a specific along with a default. That default, why default is, that also you need to explain. Okay, students. So now I will move to the further. Shall I move to the further? Yes. So, my dear students, this is clear. Now I'm entering into the biggest discussion, steps for developing programmer or user-defined exceptions. I'm going to discuss steps for explaining programmer or user-defined exceptions. I'm going to discuss. Very simple. Now I'm going to talk about it. Shall we talk? Start up? Yes. So how many types of exceptions? How many types? 4 types. ఎందుక మీరు వేస్ట్ అసలు? You are all waste. Waste students you are. So 2 types of exceptions are there. In Python programming, we have 2 types of exceptions. ఎందుకు మీరు వేస్ట్ అసలు? Predefined exceptions, programmer defined exceptions. మీరు 4 చెప్పారు, ఎక్కడి నుంచి చెప్పారు అది? From where you said that 4? You invented 4. What is that 4? Try, except, else, finally, those things. Those things. That's why the people will say, oops, something went wrong. So, Sagar, Srivastava. So you got some doubt, ma? I said I'll clarify. I'll look into your doubt, what you asked me. So I'll look into your doubt and I will clarify. So can you post your doubt, ma, once again so that I can see? So post your doubt. I will look into that. If it is clarified, okay. If it is not clarified, I will clarify. Put your doubt so that I can explain. Quickly you say, ma. Put your doubt. If it is clarified, you say clarified. Otherwise, put your doubt. I'll clarify. Then I'll move forward. Waiting for it. How many types of exceptions? 4 kada? 2 or 4? 2. Number 1. Predefined exceptions. Programmer defined exceptions. What is the definition of predefined exceptions? Predefined exceptions developed by whom? Python language developers. Available in where? Python software. Used by Python programmers for dealing with what? Universal softwares. Correct or not? So he's saying something. So Sagar is asking this doubt. Can we recorrect the mistake in except block which was happened in try block? See, can we correct the mistake in except block? Yeah, correcting means what? How can you correct end user mistake in your program? Suppose enter amount to withdraw. Enter the amount to withdraw. Enter the amount to withdraw. In his account, Srivastava account is containing 10,000, but is entering 20,000. Is KVR will recorrect it in except block? KVR in except block can say insufficient funds. He cannot put the amount in the Srivastava account 20,000 and he cannot make to withdraw 20,000. Correct or not? So, whatever the end user commit the mistake, we will tell him what mistake he committed. Yes or no? So, the user mistakes, we can tell them. Suppose, for example, you are there. You are not reading the notes, for example. Can I come and sit in your room and will I read your notes? I will tell you that you are not reading the notes. I'll tell them, I'll keep a pressure on you. Still, if you say, no pressure, nothing, sir, I will do my own, means I cannot do anything. I'll tell you the message. So, Srivastava, I hope you are understanding. So, come to the point of it. We'll tell them what is their mistake. Suppose you take your mobile home screen, you take it, home screen. You are drawing the pattern. What that home screen says? Wrong pattern you drawn, for example. Immediately what will happen? Invalid pattern. So mobile software cannot draw the correct pattern. Will it correct? No. If it writing correct pattern, when you forget your mobile, I'll take your mobile, I'll draw something, invalid pattern. Will it draw correct pattern and open the home screen? Then where is the security? That's why not possible. I'll tell them invalid pattern, that's all. So I think Srivastava got his doubt. Now I'll move to the programmer defined exceptions. Okay, now coming to the point of it. What do you mean by, I'll open it, types of exception? You gave me a shocking answer for me. Even though I'm explaining pin to pin very clearly, sometimes students will give very big shocks. That's why I have to come tomorrow onwards by keeping helmet to the class. Because your answers, really, I feel that when you say wrong answer, I'm little delicate. When you say wrong answer, sometimes I feel it's coming a forceful ball on my head. So I have to stop it, means to say correct answers. Already explained now, students. What are the keywords used in handling exceptions? Try, except, else, finally, raise. Those are the keywords. I am asking what types of exceptions. What are the predefined, programmer defined? What are that four you said? Why four? Where are the four first? And I mean these keywords, huh? Since I discussed this you said, I hope so. Correct? I said keywords and types of exception. Totally different answer. It is like a cow essay. Do you know cow essay? You don't know? Okay. Now, before entering, I'll tell you cow essay for 2 minutes. Compulsory, I have to tell you. Now, like you, one student is writing 10th class. You are all 10th class, writing 10th class. In 10th class, there is a essay writing, general essay writing, one question is there. General essay writing, one question. It's out of the subject. A moral story for you. General question, 10 marks question it is. Either Hindi or Telugu or whatever it is. Then generally in all the question papers, they will give three bits. Any one you need to answer. In all the papers, they give cow, Next is called something they give. So it is very easy to write an essay on cow. And every teacher telling to all the students 2024 compulsory question cow. Everybody buttified 2 pages of notes you buttified and ready to write. But 2024 in all the places, all 10 years cow is compulsory coming. Every year also coming. In 2024, unfortunately, the paper, Telugu paper is set by KVR. For example, KVR will see what are the previous year's papers. I should give a paper in such a way that no question must be repeated in the previous years. I will give general essay or Hindi or Telugu, whatever it is. Number 1, artificial intelligence. Number 2, aeronautical engineering. Option C, aerospace. Aerospace. Write an essay on this. Immediately, first question they opened only. General essay only they see. What is this? And student will disappoint. Cow essay is not there. Existing answers also gone. When you want to study, if you see the question paper, everything is there. You'll get much juice to write the paper. When your answers are not there, you'll compromise by yourself. Okay, no problem. Already some answers are there. Write our answers to these questions. You are done or not? Yes. So, student like you, okay, aeronautical engineering, anyhow, you cannot write. Aerospace is completely new. Aeroplane, assume that aeroplane. First one is aeroplane. Artificial intelligence, I wrote aeroplane. Okay, aeroplane is better than these 3. So you put a heading, aeroplane. Aeroplane started. I went to international airport in the car. First line, filling the additional seat is important. I book a car, enter into the car, put my bag inside. I went to international airport. Checking is done. Entered, flight came. I sat inside, kept the seat belt and taking off. And going on through window, I looked down. Cow is going. Cow is going. Cow is going. And write about cow. Write about cow. What this indicates? Student is always very intelligent, you know. Student is intelligent. You will connect that answer to this. These are all called theoretical life. Page filling. Giridharan, exactly. You have done like that only. Correct. Even I done one time in my engineering also. Linear algebra I did. I did like that. What I did, you know, actually, I expected 80 out of 80. We have 80 paper, 20 marks internal, 80 paper marks is that. In that, we got a very tough paper. In that, they used to give first unit, direct questions are there, or one more question. Second unit, first question or second unit. Like that, they need to give. They did what, you know, that we all 5 units is okay, everything written. In the last unit, that person, who is that person, I don't know. AB, he said AB. First bit AB. AB. 8 marks, 8 marks. 5 units, 5 into 60. 5 into something like 5 questions into 18 marks. 6 marks. So, and some 10 marks, something. I'm not remembering. Or one more is there, AB. AB. So I know A. Here I know B. What is this? I will get my percentage less. I want to get 80 out of 80. I'm very good in this maths, linear algebra. Even in it is a NumPy also. Solving of linear equations. So see what to do. I'm just getting confusion. What to do? So what to do? Apply. I wrote the same. I wrote A. Clearly I wrote underlined everything. Underline means what? Examiner will give immediately. Proof also kept in the box. This B, I wrote this B answer here. Okay. Apply one technique. So finally, because examiner is not giving from money now, giving marks with pen, what is there? So finally, Results came. I got 80 out of 80. That day I felt that how SAR is correcting. Because SAR also will not check the question paper immediately, he will not map. Okay, B is there. But 1A B na, 1B B na, you don't know. SAR will not remember that. SAR also will have a lot of tensions now. B is there. But which B? 1A B na, 2A B na, you don't remember. Put marks. Because all full marks, last one also full mark expected. Like that. I wrote in the last that one. So got the marks. Like that. Sometimes it will work out, sometimes it won't work out. Students, don't apply. Okay. Right. You already applied. Just a precaution I am saying. Come to programmer defined exceptions. Students, Mayank. Okay. Okay, students. So now I will go to the further. Programmer defined exceptions, I'm going to say. Now serious. So first time I said some other things than this. Now I'll go to this. Programmer or user defined exceptions are those which are developed by the Python language programmers, and they are available as a part of Python project and used by other team members for dealing with which problems? What are the common problems? Some of the common problems are attempting to enter invalid pin. Remember students, anything wrong, exception. Already in my building points, point number 10, when the user enters valid input, result. When the end user enters invalid input, then we get what? Exception. These points you remember, you will do wonders. Even I am entering the data now. You ask me, sir, enter other than this. Other than this, you enter. What will happen? You need to give which message? User friendly error message. Whenever you think like that now, you will become good programmer. Correct or not? So, like that you think of here also. I will copy this definition and I will take as it is here. Now I'll try to write it. See students, programmer defined exceptions are those which are developed by Python language programmers, and they are available as a part of Python project, used by other team members and dealing with what problems? Common problems. Some of the common problems are attempting to enter invalid pin in ATMs. What is that? How you think of it, you tell me first. Attempting to enter invalid pin is called what? Exception. Exception means what to create? Object. Object. Object need what? Exception class. Do you have that exception class in Python software? No. Who need to develop that exception class? Programmer need to develop. That's why it is known as what? Programmer defined exception. One more. Attempting to enter invalid username and password. Exception. Exception means what to create? Object. Object need what? Exception class. Do you have exception class in Python software? No. Who need to develop? Python programmer. That is known as what? Programmer defined exception. Attempting to withdraw more amount than existing balance. Come on. It is going to be called what? Exception. Need to create an object. Every object need exception class. That exception class is not there in Python software. Need to develop by the Python programmer. That's why it is known as which one? Programmer defined exception. All predefined exceptions are already programmed for specific reasons. Division by zero. Which error? Division by zero problem. Which class? Division by zero. Invalid conversions, value error. Wrong attribute names, attribute error. Wrong indexes, index error. Wrong keys, key error. Wrong keys, key error. Wrong modules importing, module not found error. For every problem, one exception is there or not? Because of that class name, today we are able to give our own user-friendly error message. Correct or not? No. Suresh, now I'm going to come to that. How to create that exception class for the object of exception, sir? That is what I'm going to tell you the steps. That I'm going to create the steps. Now, I'm explaining that. Now, Suresh, don't feel it. Suresh, now, Suresh is now. Class is over at 8 o'clock. Suresh, this is called Suresh. In the Suresh, and Take sportively. And 8 o'clock, what you will feel? Hungry, hungry, right or not? So in the body of the Suresh or body of KVR, what is occurring? What is occurring? Hungry object created. In the body, what is created? Who created that hungry? Our body. In the body of that, there is a keyword called what? Rise. What? Hungry. What is this hungry? Hungry is a class whose object created automatically when the organs need some food. Correct or not? Now, when you go for what? When you go for what? Next, when you go for exam, what will happen? Some object will create to start exam. That means anything to start in whoops. What is required? Object is required. Now I am entering into the steps for developing. Steps for developing. Now I am entering into the steps. See students, steps I am going to discuss. Very simple. Under that, we are going to get first step, second step. That's all. Two steps are there. Third step I will write for your clarity purpose. That's all. Can I go for that steps? Very, very easy. You take any student and ask this question, how to develop your own exception. They don't know. Strictly, they don't know. Just to test it, everybody. And see our things and how many examples I'll discuss. You will understand. Let us go to the paint. Once paint. You need to use today one important concept I need to use. Number one, you need to know one concept here. What is that now? Exception handling hierarchy chart. You need to learn it. Here I am going to write it. Exception handling hierarchy chart. So 1 minute ma. Here I am writing exception handling hierarchy chart. Hierarchy chart. I need to go for exception handling hierarchy chart. So I'm going to take up. So what is happening in exception handling hierarchy chart? This I will post to you. So here, so go to this place. Now I will write it. Take care, students. Now I'm going to write it. One beautiful diagram I am going to keep it. So take care. In this place, I am going to write it like this. So many. Here, students, observe it. Writing here like this. Be careful. Now I'm writing, here I'm going to say, zero division error. What is zero division error? Already you have an experience with this. What is zero division error? It is the predefined exception class name, deals with division by zero problems. Correct? Next. One more is what? Type error. What is type error? Whenever you enter wrong arguments, completely illegal operation you perform, it will give you what error? Type error. Next I am going to take up value error. Value error. What is that value error? Come on. Value error is going to come when we are going to do wrong conversions. Wrong conversions. You'll get what error? Value error. Next, I'm going to write it like that. I'm going to write attribute error. Attribute error. Next, I'm going to take what next? Attribute error. Next, I'm going to write module not found error. Module not found error. Module not found error. Next is called what error? Key error. Key error. Next, I'm going to take up. This is called key error. Key error. Next, I'm going to take up what? Index error. Index error. Next, what? Unbound local error. Unbound local error. Unbound local error. Next, else? Anything else? Come on. Name error. Name error is called what variable? Compiler variable. Name error is called what? Any variable is not there in Python program. If you try to print the variable name, who will catch it? Compiler. మీకు అర్థమైపోతుంది. You will get it. Indentation error, compilation error, indentation error, syntax error, indentation error, name error. These are all called what? Compiler generated errors. Syntax rules they are called. Right. Next, like that. I will write some more exception, database error, file not found error, OS error, IO error, EOF error. So many number of exceptions will be coming right now. Don't worry about it. These kind of exceptions are called predefined students. These are all called what, ma? Predefined. They are all called predefined. They are all called predefined exceptions. Now I'm going to write it. Predefined exceptions. Predefined exceptions I'm going to take up. Predefined exceptions they are called. I hope you are following me. All these exceptions, predefined exception. I will just try to write it. One more point I forget to write it. I will write again. Predefined exception, predefined exception subclasses, predefined exception subclasses. I just want to go for that. Predefined exception subclasses. I just wrote it like that. Predefined exception subclasses I wrote. And here, all these subclasses are having one superclass is there. What is the superclass subclass? I will tell you, my dear students. Don't worry. Exception or base exception. Exception or base exception. I just wrote it. This comes under base or superclass for all exceptions. For all exceptions. Superclass or base class for all the exceptions. Here I am going to write it. Here I am going to write it. Are you able to follow, students? So I'll write it for all exceptions. Don't worry, I will go for giving the clarity here. Let us keep this one side. Another side I am going to take up, students. Try to follow me carefully. Here, try to follow this now. Here I am going to write it. Here I am going to write it. One small conclusion for general awareness. Here I am going to write it. Take an awareness. Your parent, and you are the one child you are. So here, if you slowly, this side I will write because I need to write code also. Here I am writing, you are the one and you are a parent. Now I am writing, here I am saying parent and the child. Parent and the child. In this case, parent and the child. And the child is going to be getting the properties from where? Parent. So your parent worked for 60 years and is giving everything for you in the beginning only. So whether you are taking care or not, child will get everything from the parent. Are you following? This is called general awareness of what? Inheritance, life level inheritance. Don't worry about it. In OOPS, when I come to that, in inheritance, lot of examples I will explain. In this OOPS you come, in inheritance you see, lot of examples I will tell you. Inheritance is a separate concept in OOPS. Okay, now that I will explain to you. But at this point of time, I want to tell you small concept of OOPS, inheritance I need. Parent and child. One more example you take it, ma. You take one more example. Another example is a teacher and then student. Also best example. Teacher and then this one. Here teacher. So you are getting the knowledge from the teacher. And next is called what? Teacher. As well as what here? Student. Student I am writing. I am writing student. So teacher is giving the knowledge to the student. So what is this comes under? Parent to the child. Parent is called which class? Come on. Super class. Spell out. Super class are also called as what? Base class. Spell out. Base class. Super or what? Base class. I will write base class. I will write super or base class. Okay. Now I am saying now super or base class. You got it. Okay, nice. Next I will write it what? The same thing. When you come down to this place, it is also called as which class? Come on. Subclass. Also called as what? It is a subclass, also called as a derived class. Spell out derived class. Similarly, same stuff will be continued here also. Same stuff will be continued here also. Teacher is called which class? Super class. And what is that next? Student is called what? Subclass. Did you understand? What is the class? Least bother. What is the subclass, base class? Don't worry. It is called general life level awareness. You get it. Sir, how to write the code here? To write the code, I am writing a simple logic. I am writing. See, students, I am writing class, student, class parent. What is the keyword I am using for function definition? DEF. What is the keyword I am using to develop anonymous function? Lambda. What is the keyword I need to use to develop my own class? Class. What is the class? You least bother. I will explain class concept almost 8 to 9 hours. I will explain 8 to 9 hours about the class. Okay, now that much concept. Right now, don't worry. Pass. Next, I am writing which class? Which class I am writing? Child class I am writing. Come on now. What is the class name? Child. Child is taking properties from where? In the bracket, tuple bracket. I will write what? Parent. Parent. I wrote parent. Are you able to follow? And say just a pass. Just a pass, you say. That's all. Just a pass, you say. Are you able to understand? This is the simple coding part you must remember. I hope it is not a difficult for you to remember. I hope. Difficult? Huh? No. Just tell me this code also, ma, for my satisfaction. You tell me. Come on, fast. Class teacher. Class teacher. Say pass. Don't worry about that. What is the meaning of that? I will take care of that. Pass. Pass. Class teacher. Teacher is called which class? Super class. Class next what? Student. Of what? Teacher. What is the meaning of this now? Teacher properties are coming to whom? Student. Student is called which class? Subclass. Teacher is called which class? Okay. Now observe this diagram. Observe this diagram. These are all called what? Subclasses. Which is subclasses? Exception subclasses. And this is called what? Exception or base exception is called what? Super class for all the exceptions. Is a boss for all the exceptions. Any exception is coming. Any child is there. Is a subclass of what? Any exception is there, which is a subclass of what? Tell me how zero exception is defined. Can anybody can say? How zero exception is defined? Come on. If you are really following me, tell me. Come on. Class. Come on. Zero division error. Zero division error of exception. That's all. Pass. Zero division error of pass. I said class zero division error of pass. Are you able to follow? What is the zero division error? What is the zero division error? Is a subclass of which class? Now, I want to develop my own exception also. I want to develop my own exception also. Like a zero division error, I want to develop my own exception also. Tell me, because of this exception, all properties of exception are coming to where? What are the property of exception first of all? Whenever an exception occur, abnormal termination, PVM has to stop the abnormal termination. PVM has to come out of the program. PVM has to generate the message. These are the exception handling capabilities that are coming from where? Exception class to where? Zero division error. Those qualities code related code are already written in where? Exception or base exception, any class you can take. One more also I will write it. Look at class. What is next? Value error. Of what I can write it? Base exception. Don't try to ask what is the difference between that. Anyone you can use it. Are you following? Next, I want to develop my own exception. Come on, students. I want to develop my own exception. What is that exception? Pin error. Pin error. Cheppandi? Pin error. Come on, now tell me. Class. Pin error. Pin error of what? That's all. Exception, colon what? Pass. Pass. What is pin error? Is it a predefined? What is that? Programmer defined. How many steps are there? Number one step. Choose your class name. That class name must inherit from where? Exception class. Finished. Don't worry about the pass. If I remove the pass, what should I write? Indentation block I have to write. That you need not to write as far as exceptions are concerned. Need not to write. You will write as far as exceptions is concerned, nothing to write it. When do you write? When I come to whoops. Look at, when I come to whoops, under that, you see classes. I will open, see how many examples, classes. Database communication examples also. Coming to nodes, you see class. Syntax for defining a class, most wonderful topic. Class name, see the syntax now. The syntax explanation itself require 8 hours required for me to explain this entire thing. Within 1 minute, within half an hour also they will explain. That will become what? Oops. You already know. Already after 22 years, we are whoops. But after my whoops explanation, you will whoops the interviews. Like that, you will get it. So right now, don't worry. Step number 1. Step number 1. Choose the programmer defined class. Choose the programmer defined class name. Okay. Step number 2. Class pin error. Class pin error. Are you choosing or not? Next, the programmer defined class must inherit from. The programmer defined class name must inherit from. Must inherit from. Inherit from predefined superclass. Predefined superclass for all the exceptions. For all the exceptions called what? Exception or base exception. Exception or base exception. I'll write in the double quotes. Exception or base exception. Hence, programmer defined class. Programmer defined class. Programmer defined class. Programmer defined class is called what? Programmer defined. Programmer defined. Come on. Exception subclass. Programmer defined exception subclass. These are called what? Predefined exception subclasses. Predefined exception subclasses. These are all called. Correct or not? But mine is what here? Mine is what? Programmer defined exception subclass. We defined, which is a subclass of what? Exception. Programmer defined exception subclass. Getting a? So this class I will use for raising the exceptions. How to raise the exception? I will use which keyword? Raise keyword I will use it. That will come into the next level. I hope these 2 developments, I must save it. So actually, of course, when you write the code, definitely you have to save or not. Save the above code on some file name with an extension .py. So I'm writing file name .py. File name .py. This act as what? Module name. That act as what? Kept in package also. Any person can use my exception name. That is what I said. Programmers available as a part of my project, used by whom? Other team members. How can they use other team members? By keeping in where module, if they're present in the same folder. If they're present in different environment, I can go through what? Packages. Other team members for dealing with what? Common problems. I will develop ATM case study. I will develop so many examples for you. You will become gem in that area. First of all, is it clear? Don't worry. Just have this awareness. Have this awareness. This is a general awareness. General code I wrote it. This is a hierarchy chart. After completion of my coding in programmer defined, again I will show you this code. Again I will show you this window. That time you will feel, sir, dead easy, will say. You don't know what is the class. You don't know what is the inheritance, but you are able to write the code. That class and inheritance, again, I will explain in deep of it. Okay, students. So right now, I have time is 7:47. I'll stop my class and tomorrow I'll continue this part. Index you see. Here I said today steps only I said. Tomorrow I will go for what? And I will tell you what? Raise keyword also I will tell you. Okay, na? Don't miss tomorrow class. Very important class tomorrow. Today I completed only steps number 1, 2, 3. Next programming examples will be done. Don't miss the keyword. Raise keyword also I will tell you. Okay, na? So I'll stop the class. We'll take care tomorrow. Don't miss it. 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock. 9 o'clock following. Working on NumPy. Python is here, NumPy is here. Both. Okay, good. Do both of them. Parallelly you do it. Thank you, students. All the best. Online students, hold on. I will clarify your doubts.
Find what kind of error వస్తుంది కోడ్ రాసుకుంటాను కోడ్ రాసి నాకు error వస్తుంది ప్రైస్ జాబ్ లో మనకు కోడ్ రాసుకుంటాను లైన్ నెంబర్ వస్తుంది చెప్పిన కదా రన్ చేసాం DIV1 ఇలా ఉంది నువ్వు అదే చూసావు క్లాస్ ఎంతవరకు ఇక్కడ ఏమొచ్చింది లైన్ నెంబర్ డిఫైన్ చేస్తాను రాసాం కదా దానికి అర్థం ఆల్రెడీ ఇది ఉంది కదా ఇక్కడ దాన్ని యూజ్ చేసి రాస్తున్నాను ఇది తెలియాలి తెలిసే కోడ్ రాసు అంటే అప్పుడు మ్యాక్సిమం ప్రైజ్ జాబ్ చేసినప్పుడు ఫీట్ రాస్తాను ఎక్సెప్ట్ రాసాను ఎక్సెప్ట్ ద క్లాస్ నేమ్ ఇప్పుడు దాంట్లో రాసాను
Online students having any doubt, you can ask me the doubt. Pooja, sir, send NumPy index. Okay, I will send you. Not a problem. Not a problem. Tomorrow I will send you. Any doubts, students? Having any doubts, you can ask me, students. Students, anybody else having doubt, you can raise your hands. Devi, sir, for HTML, CSS, same faculty is assigning every time, sir. Contacted admin so many times, still assign same faculty. Seema, I cannot do anything else. You contact the admin only. Contact that admin only. So you contact him. If not happy with that faculty, you contact him and tell that what is the problem with them. So you are try to attend that. Lohit Kumar, small request. If you have your Django notes with you, please share it, sir. My dear student, in my class, I will give my notes only, and I may not be sharing my notes to anybody else. So whatever the batch you are attending, I'll give that notes perfectly. Okay, right. Okay, students, take care. And no more hand raising symbols are there. I'll upload the notes. Suresh.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Suresh.